So there's something I wanted to come on here and talk about, and that is Native culture as an aesthetic. There is something really strange about watching your identity become a trend. You know, you see people wearing pieces of your culture and mimicking your ancestors and using your symbols for style, and, you know, the world cheers. But when we wear those same items, the room becomes like silent. Like suddenly it's too political, it's too ethnic, too much. And that double standard never disappears. It simply evolves. I've noticed that every few years, the internet revisits native style. Like it reappears like clockwork, and every generation finds a fresh way to romanticize our lives. You know, there was the boho craze of the early 2000s, feathers and fringe and turquoise and tribal pants that were mass produced and sold at chain stores. And then later, the festival era emerged, and these white girls wearing war bonnets and glitter and fringe crop tops, and it was often referred to as desert energy. And so now it's, you know, sustainable fashion, and it's using our patterns and our color palettes and stories, but it's never our people. It's the same cycle, just with new branding. And every time I see someone post native inspired designs, I ask myself, inspired by whom? Who permitted you to wear that? Who taught you what that means? Because the truth is, they're not inspired by us. They're inspired by an idea of us, an image that fits within their comfort zone. And that image is clean, aesthetic, and beautiful. But real Indigenous identity, it's complex, it's heavy, and it's alive. And it doesn't fit neatly into an influencer's grid. People really enjoy saying, like, I'm just appreciating the beauty of Native culture. But appreciation without understanding is still appropriation. If you can identify the pattern, but not the people, that's not appreciation. And if you can profit from the look but ignore the history, that's not appreciation. And when our culture turns into a costume, it clearly shows one thing, that they want the image of indigeneity, but not the responsibility that comes with it. And I've seen this happen again and again. Brands stealing our motifs, celebrities wearing our jewelry without context, stylists describing our traditional designs as like earthy or bohemian or tribal, as if removing the meaning somehow makes it safer to consume. But our patterns tell stories. Our jewelry carries prayers. Our designs come from generations who created in resistance, when everything around them was meant to erase them. So no, it's not just fashion. It's survival embedded in design. I didn't always have the words to explain why it made me uncomfortable. When I was younger, I knew it didn't just sit right, like watching someone else wear what felt sacred to me. Well, I had to learn its history piece by piece. Rediscovery for me, it didn't come from tradition or elders or ceremony. It came through time, through learning and reading and understanding how profound the loss was. You don't need to be born aware to get there. But once you do, you can't unsee it. And once you begin understanding the meanings behind what you wear and what you say and how you exist, you start to see how much has been taken and repackaged and sold back to the world as a trend. Now, people might ask, but isn't imitation the highest form of flattery? Well, no. Not when imitation equals desecration. It's unflattering to wear what was once banned. It's unflattering to profit from symbols that others died to protect. It's unflattering when the same culture, punished for its language and spirituality, now sees its imagery turned into influencer content. That is not flattery. That's exploitation masked with soft filters. And you know what's wild? What's really wild is that when we wear our own culture, our beadwork, our regalia, our long hair, we still get treated like we're performing, like it's a statement or a rebellion, a costume. But when a non-native person does it, it's called art. And that double standard runs deep. It's built on centuries of deciding who gets to be admired and who gets to be appropriated. It's not just about clothing. It's about power. And it's about who has the right to define beauty and who gets left out in the process. Our image has been stolen, filtered, romanticized, and commodified so often that people forget there are real human beings behind it. We have become a look. We have become an inspiration. We have become a vibe. And the real question is, what happens when an entire people become a vibe? They become easier to ignore because it's harder to feel empathy for someone you've turned into decor. I used to scroll past those native aesthetic accounts and think, do they even know what they're wearing? And then I realized they don't want to know. Knowing comes with accountability. It means facing the reality that every pattern, every design, and every color has a story. And most of those stories involve pain and persistence. And that is something that you cannot sell on Etsy for $29.99. I've had people ask me, well, what's the harm? It's just appreciation. The harm is that every time somebody steals from us, the true artists find it harder to be recognized. The problem is that fake native-made products flood the market while genuine indigenous creators are buried by algorithms. The problem is that our art loses its meaning until people forget we made it at all. And that's how cultural theft operates. Gradually, through repetition and normalization, until the source vanishes entirely. And that's why I wanted to discuss this, because I don't want another generation to believe that their culture only matters when it's on someone else's body. We deserve to be recognized as creators, not caricatures. We deserve credit, representation, and respect, not tokenism. You can't selectively appreciate a culture's beauty while overlooking the people who experienced it. Reconnection for me wasn't about discovering something new. It was about finally being open to see what was always present. What was always present for me is that identity isn't fixed. It evolves as we grow. But the world still treats indigenous identity as something you can wear and then remove. And that's why I say native identity isn't just an aesthetic trend. It's not a mood board or a photo shoot concept. It's a lineage, a legacy, and a responsibility. It took me a while to realize that being indigenous isn't about being perfect or fluent or authentic enough. It's about remembering. It's about carrying what you can, however you can, and not letting shame shape your story. And that's the part people overlook when they wear our look. They skip the trauma, they skip the loss, and they skip the rebuilding. They ignore the quiet effort of learning, the grief that accompanies that, the awareness and the pride that follows pain. They merely want the visuals. And when I talk about this, I'm not angry. I'm tired. I'm tired of watching the same pattern repeat. I'm tired of corporations profiting from something they once helped erase. I'm tired of hearing inspired by Native culture without a single Native person in the room. You can't be inspired by something you've never tried to understand. Being Native today means holding contradictions. We live in a modern world that still treats our existence as novel. We're visible, but only in ways that fit someone else's narrative. We're included, but only when it's convenient. And still we keep showing up, creating, speaking, correcting, and teaching. Because survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about being seen honestly. And there's a certain strength in relearning your story as an adult because you see the world differently. You notice how every trend that borrows from us also tries to disconnect us from our power. The strength of our design, and the strength of our languages, and the strength of our connection to land. And that's why we keep sharing our stories. Because if we don't, someone else will. And they'll tell it wrong. I look just like my ancestors did, and I carry that with pride. I don't need to prove my identity to anyone. Not through paperwork, not through performance, and not through pain. This is my face, this is my lineage, and this is my voice, and it's enough. And sometimes people ask, so what can we do? And the answer is straightforward. Learn, support and respect. And support Indigenous artists by purchasing their jewelry. If you admire our patterns, learn what they mean and where they originate. And if you see beauty in our culture, understand that this beauty stems from survival. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness. And awareness influences behavior. And behavior impacts systems. The truth is, Native people have never relied on the mainstream to validate us. We've existed before trends and will continue long after them. But we're no longer invisible. We're documenting, designing, creating, and reclaiming loudly. And that's the beauty of this generation. We're not waiting for permission to share our stories. We're doing it ourselves. In our voices, on our platforms, on our terms. So when I say Native identity is not an aesthetic trend, I mean this. It's a living thing. It's history and future braided together. It's language, it's laughter, it's grief and persistence. It's ceremony in the way we move through the world. We don't need to trend. We need respect. We need people to realize that what you call style is actually story. A story we're still writing every day. Native identity is not a look. It's a legacy. It's the heartbeat that keeps us going. It's the reason we're still here. And no algorithm, no influencer, and no brand can ever own that.